Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Sports. I am your host, Mr. Jeremiah Khalid.
Sure. I said that'd be a good fight. He's like, no, cakewalk. I'm like,
nobody, not one analyst is talking about Jack as a six man.
But Jack, but Jack is. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Sports. I am your host, Mr. Jeremiah Khalid. Introducing my panel tonight. To my far right, we got Dante Burkeson. Is that how we say your name? Okay, we just gonna call you D Burks tonight. Next to him is Tiara Johnson. Next to me on my left shoulder, we got Dennis Bishop. And next to him, holding the camera, is Keith Jones, aka Leroy Jetson. Let's get right into it.
And very confident that through the process we found the right guy. That guy is Jim Tomsula. I'd like Jim to come up here now as the 19th head coach of the San Francisco 49ers.
He's been with the team for 7 years already. He's a player's coach. He's a good motivator. I mean, if Harbaugh didn't get hired 4 years ago, they would have won with Tomsula. He was the interim coach when Singletary was the coach and got fired.
Fangio being like a Harbaugh guy, it's like a thumb in the nose to Harbaugh that you hire his subordinate over him.
He was there before Harbaugh, though, so how could he be a Harbaugh guy?
Well, I'm saying that Tomsula was the defensive line coach.
Yeah.
Fangio's
Before Harbaugh,
defensive coordinator.
Yeah, he was a coordinator, yeah.
So when you go underneath to hire the defensive coordinator subordinate, his defensive line coach, to put him as his boss, that was telling Fangio, we want you to go too.
Yeah. But Fangio already told the Niners if he didn't get the head coach job, they was giving him the boot. Him or Mike Shanahan.
Well,
so
I think that kind of proves his point. He's saying they wanted him out.
Yeah.
But my question to you is, teams requested to interview Fangio, and the Niners
denied
him.
Yeah.
That's what I want to understand.
Sometimes teams play like that. Like they want, they kind of want to hold all the chips. So
let me ask you a question. Your brother got signed by the Niners the last couple seasons. Last two games. How did he give you any insight on how that experience was?
to him it was great. You know, he just Dez is a player and he wants to play and he didn't get to do that. But other than that, he said it was like a dream come true. You know, being at home.
Did you notice that? Did he pick up on anything, like any type of weirdness, awkwardness in the locker room?
Oh yeah, Def. He said it was a different environment than he was used to. A lot of young guys playing with their phones and meetings and stuff like that. So it wasn't like a tightly run ship that he was used to, like a Green Bay.
So Harbaugh was pretty much, basically what you're telling me is Harbaugh was gone in his head if he letting players do that.
Oh yeah. You don't let people talk on their phones in the locker room and all that stuff.
The head coach is the CEO of the coaching staff.
Right.
Yeah.
If I'm the CEO of the coaching staff, that means I need to know what you do. I need to know what you do. I need to know what both of y'all do. And the reason why is because if you make a mistake, I need to be the one to hold you accountable. Mm-hmm. My problem with Tomsula is, how can you hold somebody accountable if you never called a play before? The whole motivating thing, making people feel good, that's another Singletary thing. He's good in one-on-one situations. I can pull you to the side, Dennis, and I can get the best of you. Don't mean I'm going to get the best out of everybody.
I give them a lot of credit. Their defense played well, and the defense forced us into some bad execution. But I thought we had some chances as well, and thought I could have played better.
Is he done?
No.
Should he retire?
No. He got injured, and people are overlooking that. He was on pace to throw 50 touchdowns. He had 8 touchdown passes in September, 14 in October, 14 in November. He throws 3 in December. He gets hurt the first game in December against San Diego. Throws 3 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. So he still ends up with 39 touchdowns for the season, which is second best.
Right.
I don't think you tell the guy that throws 39 touchdowns, hey, dude, you need to wrap it up. Your career is over with. If he doesn't tear his quadricep, we're probably talking about the Broncos playing the New England Patriots for the second year in a row in the AFC Championship game.
Why do you think we heard about the injury now? Like,
I remember with Phillip Rivers, he had a torn ACL and he played in the AFC Championship game against the New England Patriots in New England. No one knew the severity of the injury. We just knew that he had a knee injury, but he went out there and he played with a torn ACL. Peyton gutted through the last 4 or 5 games of the season with a torn quadricep, but you could tell by the way that the Broncos were playing that something wasn't right. They were running the ball way more than they normally do.
Their whole game plan changed.
He was missing passes. I think he threw 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions against the Cincinnati Bengals, and that's not a typical Peyton Manning performance. So, I mean, all of the signs were there that there was something up.
but in the playoffs it is.
That he would throw 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
I've seen
He's
Peyton
not that
Manning.
bad in the
I've
playoffs.
seen Peyton Manning's teams lose, but again, his first year in Denver, they lose because the safety isn't the
Made a
deepest man
terrible
in the
play on the
field
ball, yeah.
against the Ravens, and then you can't blame Peyton for that. When they played again, when he was in Indianapolis and they played against the San Diego Chargers, and it was like Sean Merriman knew what the snap count was, and he's sacking Peyton Manning, I think about 6 or 7 times in that game. It's bigger than Peyton. You can't depend on the guy to throw 4 or 5 touchdowns every game. And
Yeah,
expect
but
to
he
win
could
every
win.
game.
He could win 12, 13 games every regular season. When it comes to that
That's my thing.
playoffs,
I'm not blaming the.
how you under 500 in the playoffs? You supposed to be elite. He go out 10 times in the first round. That kills him. 9 is bad enough, but he can just kind of go away quietly.
It's gonna happen.
You know, it's a whole lot of changes. Just go away. Go away, Peyton. Go away. Like, sneak out the back door. If he comes back one more time and they lose again,
He will.
this is bad. This is bad. Because at least he still got that who's better between him and Tom Brady. He lose again after one time, kiss him in that Tom Brady comparison. Good.
Yep.
So
Mariota escapes. This will be the final play of the game. Heaves it, and it's not fitting. It ends with an interception. And the Ohio State Buckeyes are the first national champions of the playoff era.
That was brutal on Monday, man.
Hey,
Second half.
Hey, let our people know where you from.
Oh, well, I currently reside in Philadelphia, but I'm a native. I'm born and raised in San Francisco, California.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm always going to be from the Bay, no matter how long I've been living in Philly. So, Niner fan. I'm an A's fan. I'm sorry. It's got to be that way.
Right.
And,
Hey, Naj, we want to talk. We want to get into this national championship. The Buckeyes held them to a season low, 20 points after they was averaging 45. What did they do different?
Well, for one thing, they were physical. They were physical to the line of scrimmage. I mean, they bullied him around at the line of scrimmage. They made that pocket messy for Mariota. He didn't have his time to find that one or two open wide receivers that they usually have with their scheme. And then on the offensive side of the ball, they just kept pounding them with Zeke, you know, and that quarterback, man, 250 pounds, and he running sneaks. After a while, it was like, okay, let me get out the way.
He bullied that DT on that one play.
Oh man,
He
ran him over.
like
Ran him
220 pounds.
ran him clean over.
Yeah, man. And you know the other big thing was they turned the ball over a few times, but they held them. They didn't give up scores. So it's like, you know, Oregon has that turnover ratio like top in the country, and they couldn't make anything out of it. When Florida State week prior, they got 50 points off of that. So you know it was a big difference when you get those stops. So you know they played smart football, they played physical football, and they made them pay every time they had to punt the ball. And yeah, it was just the game could have been a lot worse than what it was.
Question for you, Nash. What about TCU? I'm a big TCU supporter. I think TCU could have beat any team in the country.
I think TCU would have made it a game because I love their quarterback, and they actually have they got defense. I think they would have made it a better game. I think the Big 12 is really feeling some type of way because had they had a conference champion, then that we might not have this discussion. You know, that TCU might have been that fourth seed to get in, and I think they would have beaten any of the other three teams. So
the Big 12 was voted as the toughest conference this year, ahead of the SEC and the Pac-12.
Yeah, I mean, you see Baylor was up there, and it's just it's funny because a year ago everyone was touting the SEC again and saying how good the SEC was, and you know, even though Florida State won the whole thing, the reality is had Alabama actually covered that kickoff, we might have a different discussion last year. So
Auburn.
Yeah, the most probable.
So
improbable ending to a.
You know, I'm glad there's a playoff. I'm glad there's a playoff, at least to solve some of these problems for now. But at some point, we're gonna have to look at maybe expanding it.
Hey, Naj, we gonna log out. We only got a few minutes left. It was thanks for joining us, man.
All right, man. My pleasure. Y'all be cool.
All right, man. We gonna wrap this show up. We gonna move fast. We got Facebook Frenzy, 30 seconds or less. Arian Moore from Portland, Oregon. He says, you know, after Cardale Jones, why should we have to go to class if we came here to play football? We didn't come to play school. Classes are pointless. I think he should go to the pros. What you think, Dante?
I thought he made the wrong decision today. I would have. You got to strike while the iron is hot. If there's nobody in college football that's a more hotter prospect right now than him, even though people don't really know how good he is. Hey, he's 6'5", 250, and he won 3 big games. Yeah. Go to the NFL.
What you think, T?
I'm with him on that because we know for a fact he probably won't be that good next year. He probably won't.
He probably
most definitely not.
I mean, he's not even guaranteed the starting job.
Exactly.
He still got to compete.
What you think, Dennis?
Ahead of him.
My opinion is a little different on this topic, but it goes into something else. And as a player who kind of went through the system, I think it's a little bit exploitive as far as what players not getting paid, but that's a whole nother issue. I do think he kind of should have held his tongue on that one, though. Yeah.
Give us some.
I already told you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna stay with you, Jetson. Johnny Belcher, Vallejo, California. Over, under.
They'll probably give him 2, but I like to see him get 3. It's a hometown guy. He should get 3.
I'm a diehard Raider fan. I think that they got it right. I like Jack Del Rio. He's gonna be there for longer than 3 years.
Okay, we're gonna stay with the pick'em. The over under Packers at Seattle. The over under 48. Start with you, Dante.
I'm going over. I think that the Packers are going to be able to score because they've been able to score on them before in Seattle. And I surely think that Russell Wilson and Beast Mode will be able to get at least 28 on the Packers.
What you think, T?
I'm going to say under. I think if Green Bay can actually play decent defense, like they're not the greatest defensive team, but I think if they can be halfway decent, Russell been getting a little lucky this year. He's not gonna do what he's been doing. Yeah. I just don't see that happening.
It seems like he always gets lucky, but that's just great play calling. What you think, Dennis?
I mean, you got A-Rod on one side, and you got Wilson and Beast Mode on the other side. Yeah, it's definitely going over.
Your brother played with A-Rod. What did he say, man?
Just great quarterback. Like, a lot of guys can't make the throws he can make.
Hold on, you played against him at City.
JUCO, yeah.
How was that?
He torched us, man.
Yeah.
He torched us, and the crazy thing about it is, you know, City is a high-powered team. You know, we went in there thinking all these guys from Butte, and he came in there and lit it up.
Who from your squad made it?
What you mean? What do you mean?
To the league.
We had Albert Twina. I think he got in for a second with Carolina Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Wasn't really a lot of.
You didn't play with Larry Grant?
No, he came after me. He played with Daz. Yeah.
Okay. Bold predictions 2015 is something we added to our arsenal. We got an ex Keith Jones out. His is still active, as he predicted the Golden State.
Taking it all the way. I stand strong on that.
Dennis, what you got for us?
You saying basketball?
No, just bold predictions 2015.
Oh, bold predictions.
Anything. Give us some.
Oh,
clue.
bold predictions.
We're gonna give you some time.
Yeah,
to think about it. Give us something, Tay.
The Indianapolis Colts will beat the New England Patriots this Sunday.
I'm feeling
in
that.
the AFC Championship game.
That was my pick too.
So we handing it over.
I'm gonna say Green Bay taking it all the way, and the Niners making the playoffs next year.
I'm with that too.
That's real bold.
My last.
I can't. I mean, it's not really bold. I got Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're going to close out the show. Actually, before I close it out, you shared a story with us. My boy Mo. You know Mo Porter.
Yeah. Play with me.
Yeah, he said when you talk to Dennis, tell him he's the only guy I know that tried out for every NFL team.
Yeah, I've been around, man. Trying out for a bunch of different arena teams, CFL, UFL, been LA, New York, Florida, Chicago, Oklahoma, Texas, LA.
A journey.
Yeah, it was a journey. Definitely.
Did you have to pay for these trips yourself?
Definitely had to come out of pocket for it. Yeah.
So you didn't had your opportunities, like you didn't play the arena, got a little CFL action.
Yeah.
My question to you is, plus minus, did you win?
Well, I wouldn't say a minus, because kind of on my journey, I realized when I was going all these tryouts, I was working as a trainer to support myself, and I used those principles I learned to help me train and help me prepare. And I realized a lot of guys didn't know how to prepare. Like, it was great guys from big D1 schools, had they professional trainers there, not doing much. And so I kind of created a site out of that, because I saw this ignorance in the industry. Created a site called greatcornerback.com, and basically teaching guys the principles on how to train and how to get ready from the defensive backs. And got a pretty good response from it.
See, I thought that was important to share, because we got a lot of youngsters that watch our show as we finna send it out to our guy, Steven Pro Fanatics Greer. Where you at, big homie?
Check it out, guys. We're here for another edition of Let's Talk Sports Nation, the local sports edition. This is your boy, Pro Fanatics, coming here live from Lincoln High, where the Lincoln Mustangs are taking on the Lowell Cardinals in the varsity basketball event. Hey, man, you know what it is. Let's Talk Sports Nation. This is the first conference game, so a big stage on the line, man. Let's do it. Let's Talk Sports Nation.
The game picks up in the third quarter. Shireen Carpenter drives through the teeth of the defense and scores. He's just getting started, drives again to the hole. And you know good things happen when you go to the basket. Gets the N1. Lowell goes up by 13. But Lincoln's David Lovell says, I don't mess with you, not at my house, with a slap you very much. And just in case she wasn't invited, he's throwing a block party at the crib as he goes in for the jam. Lincoln continues to come back with a 3-ball from Giovanni Mendoza. But Tarrez Blaylock says, dog, I got your back. Cleans up the missed shot and scores. Lowell looking to extend their lead, being fundamentally sound, runs their motion play, and extends their lead to 10. As the game heats up in the fourth, Mr. Blaylock strikes with the money ball, cutting Lowell's lead down to 7. Who stole the cookie from the cookie jar? David stole the cookie from the cookie jar. on his way for the score, and the crowd goes wild. And with 3 seconds left, the game ends like this.
Man, it's your boy. Let's Talk Sports Nation, man. We're here with 2 of the prime-time players of the game. You got my man, Tarrez, Blaylock, and Grima, man. Check it out, guys. These 2 believe in second-half comebacks. They was down by 11 points at halftime, stormed all the way back. So, first game of the season, nice way to get the W. What does it mean for the rest of the season?
It's a good way to start us off, but we gotta start playing like we played in the second half. We can't have the first half.
This game was huge. This is a good win. This is a good way to open up to our home crowd. You know, we just gotta build off the second half and leave the first half behind us. We just gotta build off this and we got to get better.
Hey man, there you have it, man. Lincoln Mustangs gets the first victory, 49-48. This is your boy, Fanatics, and peace.